Hello. Um, if you're joining me, say hello. It usually takes a couple minutes for people to find me on Facebook here. So I'm just going to refresh my page. But hopefully you can join me. I decided to do 10 o'clock today instead of noon, which I may try to start next week at noon. But I was hoping to maybe cut grass today. Okay, I see that I am live here, so good. Okay, so yep, if you're joining me live, say hello. And if you're watching the replay, just type in replay. But I'd like to welcome you to my Facebook Live or coffee and cards, whatever. I got my coffee. I'm probably on a whole pot already. But anywho, I am Kelly A.G. and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Atlanta, Michigan. And I hope you can join me. I gotta tell you about this bundle that I'm using today. It's on page 71, the Earthen Textures, and I almost didn't get this, but my kids told me they loved it. They said, make sure you get it, Mom, so I did. But the paper is awesome. So I'm not going to bring out every sheet of paper. You can kind of see, and then I'm using quite a bit of it today. So it's a beautiful set. Just wanted to let you know that. And then also what I did is I took in, let me move these cards out of the way. I'll show them to you in a second here. I took and did the stamping of all the stamps because sometimes I need to do that to come up with stuff. And then I did all the die cuts. So you can stamp this and die cut it. And just so you know, when you use the dies, I didn't get them out, but this will actually cut a little bit smaller than, like, instead of leaving that white line. But I like that. Some people don't. Some people like the white line. And if you do, these are almost easy enough to fussy cut, okay? But then you got where the little, I don't know what these are, the leaves, whatever. They almost look like the ferns. I'm not good with all the names of everything. But so it cuts out all of these. And I thought this one would be awesome for, like, Christmas cards. Like, remember the one year we had a poinsettia? I thought, like, for the background to stick that in there, that would be really cool. And then you got your words, which are really nice. And then you got this little, like, to stick in there to fill in these. And then this is really cool. You can actually cut these little slits and kind of fold them. And I did that on a couple cards. And this is very hard to see, but this is a die that actually just adds texture. It doesn't cut it out. But I took and did this, the Stylish Frames, the square, and I took and did that. So I don't know if you can see the texture on there, but it's really actually kind of cool. So just to give you an idea of what it all looks like when it's cut out with the dies. And oh, there's this little thing too. I used that on my first card. So, okay, so just to show you that, and then people who order this month, I'm giving this stamp set away as a giveaway. So you got till the end of July to place a $50 or more order. And for every $50, I'll put a ticket in for with your name, and then we'll do a drawing at the end of the month, okay? So there's that. Okay, so these are our cards. I just love this. So I did use embellishments that are retired. I'm kind of bad for that because I liked them and I hardly used them, so I just saved them. But these are still available, these embellishments too, okay? So this is just a little fun fold. And then this is just a little, like a shutter card, I think they call it, like a fake shutter card. But I think this would actually showcase better if you didn't, like, cover the thing up, like you just had something small here. I wasn't planning on putting this face here, but turned out I did. So I may eventually do another one with a different set, but for now it's okay. So let's get started with our first set. Let's check in. Hello, Mary Lou and Carol. Thank you guys for joining me live. So, okay. So the first first card that I am using, Misty Moonlight. And I just did your 5.5 by 8.5. And then too, if you like these cards and want to place a $40 order by Sunday and use my host code, I'll send you the stuff to make these cards free. So, okay, I have, this is, I believe it's basic gray. Let me just check here. Oh, gray granite. It's gray granite. I thought it was basic, or yeah, the basic gray is darker. But this is, let's see, this is 5 by 3 3/4. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I just layered them. This is the designer paper, okay? Look at this. I did my last card. I used this for the vase instead of the other paper. It's really cool. And that's the nice thing. You'll see with the next card that you can just use the designer paper for the vases. It's beautiful. I have to say Stampin' Up! Has outdid themselves with their designer paper. Like, you know, with the last class I did with the horse and sleigh, I mean, you hardly put a sentiment on it and you were good to go. Okay, so there's that. And then I did the square, the stitch square from the Stylish Frames. So I'm just going to put that on there. And this is in the Misty Moonlight as well. I should probably check. Let me just check to make sure I'm in the camera. So I kind of got things set up a little different today. So I put that just a little higher but centered. Okay. So what I did is, and I did cut this all out, but I just kind of wanted to show you stamping the stuff on the first card anyway. So I used Pebble Bath. Now I could have used gray granite as well, but so I did the little twiggy thing, and then I did the two vases. Oh, I did that, I'm sorry, on the gray granite. Okay. All right, so there's that. And then I'm just going to clean this, and on the white, I don't know if you guys can see that I got the paper kind of low here. I also used the Moody Mauve. Let me just make sure I got that cleaned off here good. I gotta find my my little scrubby thing. My chamois. I seen it somewhere, but I don't know where I seen it. So it's like I'm using this baby wipe and I don't like it how wet it leaves it, but it works. So my dies would take and cut this out. I would use this die, and then I did use this die, not on, yeah, I did for the gray, and then I would use this die here, okay? So, and then I cut that out, and I use this from the Stylish Frames as well. So, all right, so we can finish the card here. So this is how it looks. So it's just a little bit smaller than what you actually stamp. I don't know if you can see that. So it does, you know, doesn't get all of it. But like I said, if you wanted a little bit of this color to show, you could just fussy cut it. Okay? So let's go ahead and layer this. Is what I got is here. And then I cut these out in the Misty Moonlight. So I'm just going to kind of layer these. And this is the Moody Mauve. So I'm just going to kind of see where I want this to be, so I don't go too high and too low. So I think we're pretty good about there. So you could just put some tape here. I need to order tape, so I'm kind of I don't know if I got my little rectangle on there straight, but I'm not going to change it now because I will be ripping everything. So let's just put a little glue right here. And got enough glue on there for that. Okay, and then I'm going to actually just glue this down. So you just want to make sure that everything fits in there, okay? And then the other one kind of did the same thing. Might have to trim some of this off. I'm just going to trim it so it's a little bit shorter. I am so excited. We got our kitchen cabinets in, and they got the countertop ordered, so that's a good thing. So they're saying 4 to 6 weeks, but I really hope not quite that long, but whatever. Okay, so you can kind of put them however you want. And in this one I popped up, but there is this little piece right here. And I'm just going to glue this to the top. And I got a lot of glue on there. So wash that off. Okay, so that just fits right on top like that, which is really cool. So I put that piece on there just to kind of add, I don't know, some flair or make it look like it's finished. So I did that at the last minute, but let me see. I'm just going to try to judge that. I think that's a good spot for it. So as we let that dry, I'm just going to add a little glue that will kind of go underneath that, or maybe not, I don't know. Got a lot of glue on there. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm just going to pop this up. Got my little mini dimensionals. But I don't know, I hope we don't get no bad storms today. I know they're kind of calling for them more, I think, south of us than here. Okay, so now what I did is I'm going to stamp the thank you. If I can get the little paper off me. And I'm going to do that in the Misty Moonlight. I used my little vase thing, my little flower pot for my stuff, but I got too much stuff in here. I like to have that just for my glue. So it got a little heavy. I never thought I would like Misty Moonlight as much as I do, but I really do love that blue. I've always liked Night of Navy, but I don't know, the Misty Moonlight is really cool. Okay, so there's that, and I'm just going to clean that real quick so it has time to dry. And, oh, let me see, what did I put inside? You always know just what to say and do. So I'm going to stamp that right away. And I'm going to show you how I put that thank you on. Okay, oops. That's not very straight. Okay, I'm not sure that's any better, but it's going to do. Not too bad. I think I had my paper crooked, but... All right. And I made this just a little bit smaller so the blue kind of has a bigger border, okay? So what I did with this, because this is popped up, I just want to put dimensionals on this side and a little glue in the center. If you want to put glue, you don't have to. I think the dimensionals will do the job without the glue. And this way, then it kind of all lays even. Okay. I don't know if I got that straight. Let's see. I'm pulling this up. Let's get that down there. Get that even, and then we can get this even. There we go. Okay. And I got those embellishments that are unfortunately retired, but you guys may have some, the solid facet gems. The pink doesn't really go with the Moody Mauve. And I know we do have some of the Moody Mauve ones that could have been on here, but I think the pink just kind of brings it out a little bit instead of doing the same color. I don't know. I like it, but I actually used the pink on 2 of the cards, so put it right there. So I don't know if that's a petal pink, I think. So there's our first card. I don't know, do you guys like it? I really do like it. Love this set. So, okay. So here is card number 3. It's a little fun fold. And this is really fun because I actually used a designer paper for this. I didn't want to use white, and it kind of reminds me of actually the, not the Sierra Sand, which is retired, but it's lighter than the crumb cake. So this is why I used the paper. And what I did is I just cut, as you can see, I've used this already. I just cut this at 4 inches straight down, and then I cut this piece to go on the inside. And then I did have to use another section to do this square and then this. And then as you can see, my vases are cut out of this part of the paper. And then this piece is actually a darker piece. That's another piece, but it just all goes together really nice. So, okay, so this is the Pretty Peacock. Let me get my stuff here. I think this is the pecan pie that I used. Sometimes it takes my brain a while to get used to all these new names. So this is 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay, so that gives you that nice fold. All right. So this piece is 2 inches by 5 3/8. I made it a little bit longer. Does anybody have this set yet? Like I said, it took me so long to order it that I don't know why, but okay, so this is the stylish shape. So I used the biggest one and then the next size down. So I'm going to glue this together. Kind of start building our card. Now, if anyone's ever got questions about the die cutting, please let me know, because when I do it on the video, it kind of shakes the table. But if you got questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So what I did, you can see here, I want this from like corner to corner on a diagonal. So I only put glue on part of it. And what I'm doing is just kind of watching what I'm doing here. You want to center it. And then I'm just putting this point here and this point right there, right on that line. Okay. Oops. And I just moved it. I want to make sure it's down good. Okay, there we go. All right. So this way, then you don't have any glue here. Okay. So then I'm going to stamp the thank you on the inside. And that's going to be in the Pretty Peacock. So let's stamp that. So this piece is 4 inches by 5 3/8. You want to keep it all the same. Okay, so the thank you is there. And then I cut this using the stylish shapes as well. And let's see, it says your thoughtfulness is much appreciated. So you could put anything on here. And that's in the pretty peacock too. Okay, so we will put that there. But this is how I cut the vases out. Can you see how I kind of use just the center of this paper, so it almost looks like an ombre. Okay, so what I wanted to do was kind of to get this to stand out maybe just a little bit more. So I took and grabbed my ink pen or my ink pad, and I just slightly went around the edge. And you gotta let that dry because it's really wet. I was going to sponge it, but I was getting too much on there. So I'm just going to and it kind of just helps it stand out a little bit more than just blending it in. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry a second or two. Let me clean my thank you off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the inside in. And then that 5 3/8 doesn't give you much of a border, but that's okay. Okay, so let's talk about this thing. When you cut it, or cut it out, die cut it, there is little things here holding it together. I'm just going to snip them. It isn't much. But then you can fold these. Kind of like move them apart. But you can take and fold them so they kind of fan out a little bit more. I think this alone is really cool. Okay, so you got that. So I'm going to put that. I just wanted to see how this looks here. So what I'm trying to do is have this little thing up here pretty much on, not all the paper, but so it's not hanging over too much. Okay, so this can kind of go about there. So when you're doing this card, you just got to be careful of where you're putting your glue so it doesn't go here. And I just have this. Let's see. And I think I did pop that up, so I popped this one up as well. This is actually kind of cool too. It looks like it's almost like marbled or stone or whatever. So you want to put enough on there. I had my bigger ones, but it's still, because this is designer paper, so it's a little flimsier. So you want to have enough of your dimensionals on there. I'm just trying to keep the paper from being all over. So let me just see here. Okay. Try to get it straight. So this one's going to go here, but what I'm going to do is put dimensionals only on this side, kind of in the middle, and so when it lays on this, it's not looking like it's going to roll over. Okay, but let's put these down here. So we'll just kind of do that. I'm going to put just a little glue here. So this is out of the the pecan pie, and this is out of the Pretty Peacock. Okay. Oh, and then you know what? I got this too. So let's see. Let me put this on before. Now on this one, I did cut the handles off, but I think I'm going to leave the handles on this one. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. So let's try it and see. I think that'll be fine. And then you got to put the ribbon on, which I added the ribbon after as well. So, okay. So see how I just have it on kind of half, and let's see, I'm going to have it up high enough. There we go. And then that kind of helps them stay in. And if you want to add a little piece of glue, like right here, you could. So this isn't quite so flimsy. Okay. And then with the ribbon, this comes with that suite. So what I did is like 3 of these little knots. Okay, well, hopefully my video isn't cutting out because I just had something come up. It seems like the internet, I mean, it's been fine for me, but I know people in town were complaining about the internet, so I don't know. Hopefully my video turns out. But what I did here is I just took a little glue, try to get just a little glue there, and then right underneath it. Try to squeeze that together because it wants to come apart. And I just did that with glue, and you got to let it dry, of course. Now you could wrap it around if you really wanted to, but I don't, you know, that's kind of hard to tuck because this is braided. So, okay, so with this, what I'm going to do is just take in, I think I added, yeah, I added a dimensional right here, and then I added glue here. So let's do that so it's all even. Okay. All right. So we got that. That's your card. I think that's beautiful. And then I'm going to put the embellishments on it. So this is glossy dots. And I used, I don't know what color this is, but I used these. Sometimes when you use these dots, they just kind of, even though they're a different color, they kind of, like, I think, reflect off the paper to make it look similar, because it almost looks like it could be that Pretty Peacock. So yeah, that is cool. So what do you guys think? Do you like this card? I love the dark color. So, okay. So that's card number 2. And card number 3 is the interesting card. Let me just kind of clean this up. So what you have is, let me get rid of all this. So you got just your Moody Mauve, and it's 5.5 by 8.5. That one card I did, the double fold, I can't remember the name of it, but I think this paper would be really awesome with that too, where you had the little tag and the gift card. I might have to play around and work with that, but okay, so this is, let me stop and think, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then this is 3 3/4 by 5. And what I did is I took the stylish shapes, and I cut out not with the biggest one, but the second to the largest. I cut out this, and then I put in the third, so it'd be the second to the smallest inside to get this piece, okay? So this I'm not going to use, but save it because you can use it on something else, a different card. Okay, so I'm going to take in that, and then when you put that in there, you're going to want to make sure you're kind of even here and even there, okay? Now, if you did a bigger card, you could use the biggest square and do it, and that looks cool too, but then you'd have to make an envelope because I think you'd be cutting off the ends doing it on a diagonal. So we're just going to add this, try to center it. Okay, and then this piece is going to go right in here. So the stylish shapes do all the work for you, kind of. Now the first card I made, I wasn't thinking, and I actually did these strips. These are, this is the bubble bath, or, yeah, bubble bath. And they're 1/4 inch strips. So what I did is I kept going I was doing it like this instead of like this, okay? But it actually looked kind of cool. I mean, I could have kept it, but I threw it out because I thought, well, I'm not doing the technique right. But let's see that piece. I got a longer one here. But this is how I was doing it. And when I got done, it's like, oh, that's kind of a cool technique. But so that should be long enough. But anyways, that's not the right way. So I'm going to show you the right way of doing this. And let's see, I'm just going to do a little, about 2/3 of this. So this will fit. You just start, and this is why they call it a shutter card. Because, when you're snapping a picture, at least I think, I don't know, they had some other name for it too, and I thought, well, okay, so that, I probably got too much glue on it. Yep, I do. All right, I'm just going to kind of flip that over for a second because I'm trying not to get glue on my board. Okay. So then you just continue going to the end. You start there. Okay, and then this one, I'm just going to add glue right here because that's where it's going to go. And put this piece here. So hopefully, oops, geez, look at, I got glue where I don't need it. Okay. So you probably won't want to do that. Just try to get it off there. Okay. All right. So then, and you want to do this before you put it on your card thing because then you're going to be cutting it. So you just cut these little pieces off. And use old scissors in case you got glue on it. Like I do. Okay, so let's get that. Oops. I have to add more glue here. I'm just trying to get them out of my way here. Okay. All right, so that's how that looks. Now let me see. I think I'm going to go this way with it because I got glue here and I want to cover that up. But see how, and you could actually cut different color paper to fit in there. And maybe next time I do that, I will, or do this card, I'll do that. But for now, I just left it all this color because I kind of wanted everything to match nice. So we will put this on here. It's pretty easy to do. It's actually really cool if you use different colored cardstock in there. Not cardstock, but designer paper. But when I do that, I wanted to have a something smaller in here. So, okay. So this is, well, you know what, I think I used Memento Black on the sentiment, but oh well. I'll find something to use. So this is in the bubble bath. Cut it out as well. Die cut it. Just snipping them again. So you can crease them pretty good if you want, or just a little. Okay. I'm just going to trim a little bit of that off. So we're going to put that kind of there because I got glue there. Cover that up. Oops. But I don't know, I got glue on my fingers, so everything I'm just pulling right back up. That's not good, is it? So I'm just going to add a little glue here, and I can add both of them right away. So that is in the Moody Mauve, and this is the Pretty Peacock. Okay. Ooh. All right, so we got that. So this is the other vase that I had cut out, just a little bit different, but I think it's really cool. So I'm going to add the little dimensionals to it. Okay, the backing off. It almost looks like the sun's trying. Well, it is kind of bright out there, so I might be able to cut grass after all. You know what? I think I'm going to have to trim this. All right. So we can put that just like that. And then I tied some twine, so I'm going to get my glue dots out for that. I did a double bow for that. Just put it right there on top. Okay, and then, let's see, I used this in black, so I'm going to use a darker color. I may use the Pebble Bath, I think. So it says, "You are proof there is good in the world." And then I just stamped a little leaf so you can write a little note. Oops, there goes my little... Okay. Hopefully I can get this on here, right? I may have to do this off camera because that's a small little sheet. So let me see. Oh, not bad at all. That's good. That just fit on there. So I'm going to stamp this right away. And I think that's just enough. This would be pretty on your envelopes too. So let's glue this inside. So do you guys have a favorite card? Do you like the first, second, or the third one? Or all of them? I appreciate any hearts if you like them. Okay, so this is the same thing, although I've got my base a little higher. So I'm just going to put that just on the corner so I can put dimensionals on almost the whole thing. But on this one, I actually didn't put it right there. So let's see. Just going to keep it a little bit closer to the center instead of right on the end there. Hopefully I got the right side. Yep, okay. So this way then it lays flat on your vase. If I get these off. Okay. right, there's that. So I'm going to go back to the retired ones. And we're just going to put a couple here. 2 there. And 1 just down there. I think I got my dimensional. Hang on. This is puffing up, so I got my dimensional too close. Let's put it right there. So now I may have to add a little, nope, I guess I got it good. But I was going to say, I might add a little dab of glue right there, since I'm pulling it up. Okay, just to kind of hold that there till it dries. This way then it looks nice and even, okay? So these are your cards. I do like this vase. I actually like this one too. I don't know, which vase do you like better? This was the first one, that's the second one. I think they're both cute, so. But anywho, so that is our live for today. So I don't know if you got a favorite card, or just let me know if you like the first, second, or third. So don't forget, if you want these cards, you can do a $40 order and use my host code by Sunday night, and I'll send you the stuff to make it. But you will want, you know, you can use your own sentiments, but you'll have to stamp this stuff. I can die cut all that for you, but okay, I think that was it, and I will see you guys next week on Wednesday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.